Hey y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another review, guys. This is going to be a movie review. I generally don't do a whole lot of these. I need to start doing more of these, but I had gone yesterday to my local Barnes& and Nobles. They're having a huge 50% off Arrow video sale. And so there's a couple movies I had been wanting to pick up. One of them was The Shootist with John Wayne. If you don't know, I'm a huge John Wayne fan. But another one was a Western that I didn't even know existed until I saw that Arrow was going to release it 3, 4, however many months back. And I didn't jump on it to get it, and then I saw that apparently it's out of print, or you can't really get it anymore. If you can, people are charging an arm and a leg for it. So I was looking on their website, and I happened to see, that they had it on sale, and it was priced pretty good. It was like $20. So I was like, you know what? It's a Western. If I don't like it, it's $20. I'm probably going to like it, though, because it's a Western. It's a movie that stars Henry Fonda as well as Anthony Perkins from Psycho and Betsy Palmer from Friday the 13th. If you can't tell, I have the cover back here, but we are talking about 1957's The Tin Star. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare on there. Yes, we'll go this way. 1957's The Tin Star. Like I said, this stars Henry Fonda as well as Anthony Perkins and Betsy Palmer. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Yeah, no, there's no Jason, there's no Norman Bates in here. Although, I couldn't help but there was one scene in here that I was like, okay, I can kind of see a little bit of Norman Bates. This came out before Psycho. This obviously came out before Friday the 13th. So getting into what is this movie about? I'm going to read you the blurb on the back here. So the Tin Star is about the Western. It's about a veteran bounty hunter, Morg Hickman, which is Henry Fonda. He rolls into town to find a population paralyzed by fear. The local sheriff has been killed, leaving the inexperienced Ben Owens, Anthony Perkins, to fill the void with hope of securing a permanent position. Morg discovers that the newly appointed young sheriff is having difficulty facing the notorious bully Bart Bogardus. Morg, a former sheriff, takes it upon himself to teach Owen how to assert himself and maintain order. So then that's a very, very brief, description of this movie. Because I thought, okay, he's going to come in, train him. That's kind of not what that's a little bit, that's a subplot. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. That is a subplot of this movie. There's a lot that happens in this movie. I mean, this movie's 93 minutes. So it's not that long of a movie. It's really not, by Western standards, at least from back then. It's not a John Wayne that's going to take 2.5 hours. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like the description on the back says, Morg comes rolling into town. He is a bounty hunter. The scene, the movie opens up with him coming into town, with him on his horse riding in, and a horse behind him with the body just slung over it. And you see everybody in town just stop and stare. And they kind of all start to follow slowly behind him. And so, Morg Fonda goes into the local, sheriff's office to turn him in. And he walks in and he sees Anthony Perkins in the back, trying to do the Johnny Ringo catch and whatnot. Doesn't work out. But he's like, where's the sheriff? Perkins kind of looks at him like, what? And next thing you know, you have somebody say, sheriff. So Perkins goes, coming. So he goes out into the front office. And that's where, the town, the higher-ups in the town, the civilized people, the uppity people, the leaders of the town go, there's a dead man out there on his horse. Arrest him. And Hickman goes, whoa. And he pulls the wanted poster off of, the sheriff's board, says, this is who that is. $500. I'll collect payment now. And so the town's very leery of Hickman. They tell him, well, we need to prove it. You're going to have to wait a little bit. And Hickman goes, that's fine. I waited this long to catch him. I can wait a day or two more to get $500. And so, you can already tell that the town does not like Hickman. He goes to walk out of the sheriff's office, and you just see the entire town just stop and frozen. They look like mannequins just standing there. I mean, nobody's moving, nobody's blinking, nobody's saying a word. They just stop and stare at him like well, who would murder someone and bring him into town? Like what kind of uncivilized person would do that? And so, Hickman goes to the local motel to try and get, a room, and the hotel owner goes, "Yeah, no rooms. No rooms at all." So Hickman says, "Well, where's the stable?" So the owner of the hotel tells him, so Hickman goes to try to take his horse, and that's where we're introduced to a kid. And he will become a very pivotal person in this movie, and whatnot. And so that's where Hickman meets Bogardus. Bogardus tells him to get the hell out, as well as the little kid. So Hickman goes riding out of town, or attempt to find a place to stay, comes across the kid again, and takes him home. So when he takes him home, and that's where we're introduced to Betsy Palmer's character. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've only seen Betsy Palmer in Friday the 13th, and I don't mean for this to sound weird. She was not bad looking back in her day. She didn't look like the prettiest girl, but she definitely did not look bad by any means. She didn't look like Pamela Voorhees by any means. And I know that's probably going to get a chuckle out of some people. And so they strike up kind of a weird friendship and whatnot. And again, I tell you all this just to kind of, set the scene, the mood and the atmosphere for this movie. Because essentially this movie is, the whole town hates Hickman. They hate the idea of bounty hunters. They're not sheriffs. They just do it for money, even though they're going after bad people, murderers, thieves, rapists. They're going after bad people. They kind of treat him like he's one of them, even though he's not. Again, as the movie goes on, there's a lot of little subplots that kind of, we're introduced to. We're introduced to the young sheriff who's inexperienced, who, Hickman eventually does try to teach him some stuff. There's the love angle and the kind of father figure angle that Hickman takes with Betsy Palmer's character and the little kid's character, and I forget what the heck his name is off the top of my head. There's the love interest angle of Anthony Perkins' character, who is, and I do apologize, I'm going to have to, Ben Owens. You had the interest of Ben Owens and the girl that he fancies and he's trying to date and whatnot, whose father happened to have been the sheriff, and they didn't really say what happened to the sheriff, although they do, the character does tell you that she remembers her mom worrying nonstop when her dad was the sheriff, so she doesn't want, Ben Owens to be the sheriff because she doesn't want to deal with what her mother dealt with. There's the angle of, Hickman, and where did Hickman come from? What's Hickman's background? How did he become a bounty hunter? How does he know stuff about being a sheriff that he kind of alludes to? There's the plot of Bogardus' character just kind of bullying his way around, the town and getting what he wants. You have the plot of the town thinking they're better than everybody, than the Old West, and how things used to be settled, but now they're trying to be civilized. You have the plot of, that kind of just comes up out of nowhere about the stage robbery that takes place and whatnot, and who did it. And then, when they find it, are they going to catch him? And then, at the end, there is this, I'm not trying to spoil anything, so if you don't want to hear this, I would skip ahead about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. There's a subplot of, okay, they have them, now the town's trying to, hang them, and now they've become the bounty hunters, and Hickman and Owen's character are trying to keep them from, killing these characters. There's the plot of, whether it's better to bring someone in that's wanted alive or dead, and there's just so many plots in this story that, get wrapped up very, very nicely at the end. This was, caught me very much by surprise. I watched this late last night. I put it on at, 10 o'clock. Generally, if I put a movie on that late, I kind of pay attention, kind of zone in. This movie had me hooked the entire time. I don't know how this movie's not talked about more often. I really don't. I had never heard of this movie. I don't know if it was just forgotten. It looks like it's a Paramount film from what I could tell here at the bottom. And whatnot. This was such a good Western. it looks like it's directed by Anthony Mann, who directed Winchester 73 and The Far Country. I have not seen those. I've heard of Winchester 73. I need to watch it. I need to buy it, actually, and watch it. But again, there's just so much that takes place in this movie. There's so much, and there's a couple things I'll forget to mention. This is definitely a really, really good Western. It's in black and white and whatnot. I know something that most people probably won't care about. This does have an upgraded 2K scan from or better. It's got a Blu-ray scan. It looks like. I mean, there's some special features on here that look pretty cool. I haven't watched them. I really just wanted to get on here and tell y'all that you guys need to check out the 10 Star. You really do. There is so much that's packed into this. And there is a person who comes up in here who caught me by surprise. And I really think he is an unsung hero of the Western genre. And I need to do a video on him one day. Maybe I can get Dustin to help collaborate with me. Lee Van Cleef is in this movie. Nowhere is he mentioned in this movie, but he's in this. He's in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. He's in High Noon. I mean, old boy is just popping up all over these Western movies that I have been watching here lately. And I can't help but think, how is he not bigger than, how is he not up there with the likes of, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Henry Fonda? Like, how is he not, up there with as many Westerns, big Westerns that he's been in? How is he not more well known? I know that he's in a movie called Death Rides a Horse, I believe. I need to pick that up and watch that. I'm really becoming a huge fan of Lee Van Cleef's, just from the few Westerns that I've watched him in. But yeah, guys, the 10 Star with Anthony Perkins and Henry Fonda, Betsy Palmer, Lee Van Cleef. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. I mean, this is just a stacked movie. I mean, again, it has Neville Brand. Ooh. Yeah, Neville Brand, I believe is what his name is. I mean, this has quite a few different people in it. It's got Michael Ray, John McIntyre. I mean, this has quite a good cast in it. Again, I don't know how this is not more well known. If you get the chance, definitely give the 10 Star a watch. Doesn't look like you can stream it anywhere from what I can tell. If you have a local Barnes & Nobles near you, go pick this up. I looked on Amazon, and it looks like it's going for $27, $28. Like I said, I was able to pick this up for $20 for my local Barnes & Nobles. If you don't have a Barnes & Nobles near you, I believe they will ship to you. I think it's like an $8 shipping charge, though, so you might as well just get it from Amazon and get it a little quicker, maybe. I don't know, whatever you prefer. But again, the 10 Star, this is such a great movie. And to kind of show you, this does have reversible artwork, and this is what the other side of the cover looks like. I just happen to like, the old style covers for these movies. I mean, there's a lot that comes in here. You get like a little pamphlet, you get a poster, kind of show you again what that's going to look like, guys. I know a lot of people are going to care, but I'm still going to show you. I mean, this movie is stacked. I mean, you get this little booklet that comes with it that's got, information about it. You have these little like cards that come with it. Let me find my favorite one here. I know no one's probably going to care about these, but I'm still going to show you guys. Oh, let me see here. I mean, look here, guys. And again, these are in color. The movie's in black and white, so I don't know how these are in color, but the movie's not. I think it would have been awesome to see this movie in color. I'll do that here in a second and get those taken care of here in a second. But again, guys, such a great movie. Little poster comes with it. Nothing too big or too fancy as far as the poster goes. But I really enjoyed this movie. This is one I will definitely rewatch many, many times. But again, guys, the 10 Star with Anthony Perkins, Henry Fonda, Lee Van Cleef, Betsy Palmer. Pick it up. Go watch it. This is definitely one of my new favorite Westerns out there. I do appreciate you guys if you stayed, this long to watch the end of it. Again, y'all have a good one.